Okay, so just to have a verbal note-taking reflection, just so I have a verbal reflection of my past 2 days here in class. So today is February 10th. Today is Tuesday, and I want to start off with Monday because I didn't reflect yesterday. So I think I did like one little reflection somewhere. Oh God. Here, I did a reflection here somewhere. Cultural rhythm, stability, stamina, learning to breathe, remembering order of warm-up, and executing proper form. So those are a couple things that I noticed in cultural rhythms class that I can work on. Overall, I think I've been doing pretty good in that class. I can't remember much that I struggle with, but I think that cultural rhythms, what do we do? So we've done these, right? And then we've done these. So slowing down and making sure I'm doing these right. And then we go here, making sure the pelvis is tucked in. So that's something I've been trying to remember. Releasing my shoulders. I have a lot of tension in my shoulders for some reason. So I have to remember to relax my shoulders. What else? Anything else, really? It's really like, I feel like we haven't gotten into the deep end of it yet. So I don't feel like there's anything more I need to do as far as like, besides what I've said on here that I need to improve on. Which is, so this is quite a couple things. And mind you, my stamina really isn't that bad. It's just, of course, after doing like cardio exercise at the end of class, back-to-back type of stuff, type of movements, it has me like somewhat like, sweaty and kind of just breathing hard. I'm not out of breath. I'm just breathing hard a little bit. And it's not even, I would say I'm breathing moderately. So, I think cultural rhythm class was as well. Hip hop, I still need to remember how to remember choreo immediately. So while he's teaching us choreo, I need to be able to retain it and perform it and properly execute it in that moment, or learn how to do that. So I need to think about tricks and tips on how to remember choreo. I need to remember certain movements or relate them to something in my brain that makes it easier for me to remember. So with hip hop, I did good. I've been doing good. And my only problem is that I need to retain choreography faster. Dance company is fine. That's just a choreography class, so I don't feel like I am lacking in any way. Same thing, just retain choreography faster. And honestly, with that one, I actually did pretty well. So maybe it's just some things where the choreo is so fast and taught at a fast pace that where it's just hard for me to remember. And so maybe that just takes time for me to build that muscle memory, build that muscle in my brain. So, with dance company, there's not much I need to improve on, but the choreography, just practicing it. So that's cool, not a big deal. Professional outreach workshop, just make sure I submit my assignments on time, make sure I'm reading assignments on time, because we do have reading assignments. So yeah, read those. And yeah, I don't have to talk about that one because there's nothing I need to like really analyze about that. So that's Monday. And then Tuesday, I have yoga. I need to, I don't know, just make sure I'm retaining the poses and everything to make sure I am ready for exams. That's about it. Just make sure I'm retaining all of this information that we're given and actually breathing, because sometimes I do forget like to breathe. So I need to make sure I'm breathing during all of the exercises. So, intro to dance, just make sure I complete assignments on time if there's any. That's a written assignment, sit down in a classroom type of jig. So nothing really to talk about there. Oh, actually, the only thing is just make sure one of these days, sometime during the week, you go back onto Blackboard and look at the slides that she presented class, because personally, I can't write that fast, nor can I shorthand that fast, because even if I shorthand it, it seems like I'm gonna miss something off the slide. So, go back onto Blackboard, look at the PowerPoints, take any notes you may have missed, and yeah. Jazz is not as, man, I I have poor technique in jazz. I didn't think I would be so terrible, but like, man, it seems like a whole new world to me. Now, mind you, I can perform it. You give me some jazz choreography, I'll work my butt off on that, and I'll perform it crazy good. But technique, you lost me. So, yeah, I just have to work on my technique after class. Like, now would be a good time to work on some of my technique and just make sure I'm retaining everything, make sure any choreography she gives, I do it to 100% and don't like just give up and be like, oh, that's a lot, this is too much, because it is a lot. Like, honestly, her teaching style is a lot for me personally as a, I guess, a beginner jazz dancer, right? As a jazz dancer with no technique experience. So for her style of teaching, it's a little I mean, everybody just teaches at a fast pace, in my opinion, right? Not really everybody, but it's just like some teachers do, and I struggle with that. And so sometimes I just need to see it over and over again. So I invite myself to ask more questions in jazz dance, because for some reason I've been a little off standish in that class. So I want to make sure I'm getting everything I need, because there's no reason for me to ask questions in every other class, but in jazz, I'm not. Like, you're here to get the dance. You're here to get it done. You're here to learn and improve. And I'm not going to improve if I'm half-assing anything. So definitely ask questions. Definitely perform to your fullest ability. Definitely let go and let God. Definitely, perform at 100% and just do your best and get clarity whenever you need it. And maybe sit in the back of the class, because right now I stand in the corner, not in like the corner, but like there's a whole space here for me to have to myself if other people aren't there. Like, there was only 3 of us in the last class over there in that space, and now today it was only me. So just depending on the situation, I might even need to stand in the back here with everybody else, because it's a big class. So either I'm over there by myself looking over and watching people do it, or I'm right behind and following exactly how everything should be, because sometimes I get lost in the sauce. So that's my thoughts on jazz. Tap dance. Tap dance is fun. I love tap dance. I mean, I love jazz. I love cultural rhythms. I love everything, right? But what I was gonna say is, I love tap, but I don't have technique in tap. You know, I can perform choreography. Once again, I can perform choreography you give to me if I need to, you know. Practice will make it perfect, right? Or dang near, right? We'll make progress, right? But learning technique that I know nothing about and that my brain isn't used to, it took me some time to learn some choreography when I had to for a show. You know, it just took practice. It didn't take me super long. Like, by every practice I was better, and I was doing the choreography as it should have been. However, with this technique during the class, when we only have basically like 10 minutes per exercise, I felt like, so that's good because it will build me up over time. However, there is some things I struggle with, and there's also some things I don't struggle with. Like, I just feel like my brain can sometimes not keep up. And sometimes maybe I just need to go slower sometimes at first. And I've been adjusting to that. I've been taking it slow, they go fast, right? And I'm trying to still learn how to get up and jump. So I feel like just with tap, it's just coming slowly. And it's just another one of those things that I have to practice after class to really get it faster. I just want to get it faster, I think. And I love practicing after class to make sure I can get any and everything faster. So, is there anything other than that? Hold hold on. I feel like with tap, the most I need to do with is practice after class, say things out loud. So that way, and maybe I even need to say things out loud for all the classes, hip hop, jazz, dance company. If I need to remember something, maybe saying it out loud is what's best for me. So I'll consider that as well. I've been saying things out loud. I just don't do it all the time. And I think it just takes some getting used to. You know, tap can be fast paced in general. Like that's like, you know, it just, there's certain beats that you're supposed to be hitting. And realistically, sometimes it's not even about how it's fast. It's about the movement itself is just a lot to take in because you're doing a lot at the same time. So I feel like it just takes repetition, practice, saying things out loud, taking it slow. And that's about all I can say for tap as well. So that's my reflection about all the classes I've had so far this week. And I will continue to either video or write down in my notes what else I need to work on. And I plan on doing that after each class. That way I don't forget anything and I can actually use specific examples of things that I struggle with or was concerned about or anything like that. So that's it for this reflection. Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.